Good day, brothers and sisters in Christ. I welcome you to our Sunday reflection for the first Sunday of Advent, Year A. The theme of our reflection is Stay Awake. In the spiritual life, it may take a shock or at least a jolt to wake us up. This was the experience of Bishop Samuel Ruse. He served in Mexico, where nearly 80% of the population of his diocese was indigenous. He became known as the defender of the Indians, but he wasn't always like that. In a talk he gave at Westminster Cathedral during the Lent of 1996, he said, "For 20 years, I was like a sleeping fish. I had my eyes open but saw nothing. I was just proud to be in a diocese where the churches were full. Then one day, I saw an Indian tied to a tree and being whipped by his boss because he had refused to work an extra 8 hours. That incident opened the bishop's eyes and he began to see. What he saw being done to his people moved him to action. It's not enough to be physically awake. We need to wake up socially, morally, and spiritually. We need to be awake to the light of God within us. This awakening is the challenge of our readings on the first Sunday of Advent. Isaiah urges us to walk in the light of the Lord, and St. Paul encourages us to turn away from darkness and live in the light. But what does this mean in practice? We are a people on whom the light of Christ has shone and continues to shine. We must therefore strive to walk in the light of truth and life, the light of holiness and grace, the light of justice, love, and peace. Unfortunately, darkness still holds sway over us. Darkness can take many forms. Any hatred, enmity, lack of forgiveness, lack of reconciliation, injustice inflicted upon us and others, or immoral behavior are forms of darkness. A little reflection can help us identify which form of darkness exists within us. Why does darkness have any power over us? It is because we are searching for darkness in the wrong places, outside ourselves. A sociologist thinking about the crisis of faith states that it is not the number of people who come to church that matters, nor should the fact that our Christian values are no longer present in the public place concern us. What matters is that even the few of us who attend church do not let the values of our faith shape our lives. This is our fundamental problem. We focus so much on what is wrong with the world that we forget everything that is wrong with ourselves. Our gospel reading is both intriguing and confusing. It tells us that some people were taken and others were left behind. This has led to the idea of the rapture, which makes people think that one day Jesus will come and take some people away while leaving others behind. However, this is a misinterpretation of the parable. What we should focus on in the gospel reading is that both those who were taken and those who were left were doing the same activities. The difference is that they were engaged in these activities differently. Those who were chosen were awake, actively involved, and aware of their values, whereas those who were rejected were asleep to the reality of their faith. There will always be darkness in the world, and we must decide how to live with darkness. A spiritual writer explains how to do this, and I quote, "People who have come to know the joy of God do not deny the darkness, but they choose not to live in it. They claim that the light that shines in the darkness can be trusted more than the darkness itself, and that a little bit of light can dispel a lot of darkness. They point each other to flashes of light here and there, and remind each other that they reveal the hidden but real presence of God. End of quote. Advent is about renewing our faith in the God of light, who reveals himself through Jesus at the first Christmas. We need to awaken to the darkness within our hearts and allow the light of God to shine through us. This week, I want you to do the following. Number 1, pick up an Advent devotional displayed at the back of the church and commit to praying with it daily. Secondly, set aside a short time each day to examine your conscience so that you can let the light of God shine into the darkness of our world through you. Have a blessed day.